In this video, we are going to talk about denying way spots. Sometimes it's hard to deny a way spot, especially ones that we think should be way spots, like this example right here. It is a cemetery entrance. But before we get to this, we are going to click on the 3 stars. We are going to go to help. And then in here, we can see there are some options. If we scroll down, there are ineligible way spots towards the bottom. And it'll tell you nominations that are images of mass-produced pieces, no safe pedestrian access, no objects, people, body parts, or there's live animals in it, natural features, not permanent, don't have a fixed real-world location, so again, not permanent or temporary, copyright material, private residence, obstruct driveways of emergency services. And this is only if it obstructs. If it's to the side and would not obstruct the driveway, then they may be allowed. They are at schools, child care centers, or daycare centers. So one thing to do, you can see that, or look at churches. And some churches also offer K through 12 education. So make sure to look at that when you are when you are reviewing. Adult-oriented stores or services. And so all of this, I suggest you go through, you look at it before you take the test though, but to go through and make sure that you understand what is not allowed. That way we can get ones out of the system faster that are not allowed to be in to be in game. So we're going to go back to help. Darn it, I messed it up. So when you're in the help section, you can just click back in the top left where there's help, and it'll bring you back without having that sidebar if you have that same problem as me. So now we're going to look back at some clarifications. So first we're going to look at October 2019. So in here, it'll tell you some things that they have clarified on. I believe one of these, nope, so none of these talk about the cemetery yet. But so these are always a good thing to look at. So like I said, you can just click help, it'll take you back. And so now we're going to look at January 2020. So they provided some updated general tips, but we're going to look at the criteria clarifications. Cemeteries or graveyards. Acceptable are headstones, statues, or memorials dedicated to a historical figure, someone who is significant to the local community, or groups of individuals. For example, a World War II veteran memorial. Not acceptable. Signs at the entrance of cemeteries, cemetery directories, other headstones or memorials, or funeral homes. So if we go back to our example, that was a sign at the entrance of the cemetery. So we go back to review, that nomination is still there. It is 100% a sign and at the entrance of the cemetery. So unfortunately, according to the new criteria, I will have to hard deny this. But you can see they did provide some information. Like before, I would have approved this, but I am unfortunately not going to today. And we can see this also makes it worse. There's no stops in the vicinity. This would be where you check for duplicates, where you would have to deny if there was a duplicate. But it makes it even harder to deny. Whoever this is, if you go back and you try and find some stuff inside of the cemetery, I know it's worse to be inside the cemetery, but apparently that's what they're going to allow. Something that's historical to the community within the cemetery. And then this is where we could also look for the item and use it to deny if it is nowhere to be found. If someone is trying to get a stop placed at their house or move a stop closer to them that is nowhere in the area, that would be grounds for denial. All right, so we're going to go back up here, give it 1 star to deny, then it will give you the reasons to deny the way spot. So for this one, I think we just go with general. Since it's a new item, I don't think anything on here or in location will be cemetery. So we're just going to go with general. Doesn't meet criteria. And then I'm going to put in here just simply entrance sign to cemetery. And then we hit submit, and then we would go to review next. But we're not going to review anymore in this video. If you have any questions on denying, I will have another video on duplicates and how to check the map and whatnot, and what should be marked as a duplicate, even if they are different nominations. But if you have questions, let me know.